Reusse Unchained, brought to you by our friend Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold, investment consultant. And Patrick, the last time we talked to you for Unchained was on Tuesday. Plenty has happened since then. Kirk Cousins is a Falcon. Sam Darnold is a Viking. Your thoughts on what has transpired so far with the Vikings?
Well, I woke up at 2 o'clock this morning. I was laying on the couch. I fell asleep. I turned on Sports Center to see what I'd missed because hadn't last I looked was about 10. And there was Kirk on now it was obviously a replay, but he was on with Van Pelt wearing his suit and just telling us about what these big expectations for the Falcons. And this was after, when did he have his heartfelt send off to the that was a special video that he sent
Yeah,
out that was only
afternoon.
for the Minnesota audience, or what was it?
He
Was that
tweeted out like a little thank you Minnesota video that was 90
okay?
seconds from the
All right,
family and
all
that type of
right.
stuff.
And
Yeah.
did we get some people get very emotional about that? Did they? They're gonna miss him. I don't know. Last time we talked, we were talking about this McCartney. What an agent this guy is, and it's pretty amazing that he's getting that kind of a deal. I don't know how they can get out from under him after two, right? If it doesn't work out.
Right, but he got the fifty mil per guaranteed, and that's what he
Mhm.
wanted ultimately.
Yeah, right. Yes, and
So,
where do we assume the Vikings were willing to go? two
oh, as far as
years,
the money
30,
goes,
2 years, 40 maybe
yeah,
or
I'd say around
something.
40 something. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
not 50.
but 2 years, not 50. No, no, everybody's better off now. I don't know if Darnold can play. I don't know when's the last time he actually played when he was the starter. What I mean,
Carolina.
he failed with the Jets and Carolina. He didn't do
Yep, a
much
couple of years
either
ago.
either a couple of years ago. So when did we decide that he was overrated fraud? when the Jets just
I think at the end of the
couldn't get her
Jets,
done with the Jets, right?
yeah, I think at
Yeah.
the end of the Jets, we decided he probably was not good. But I mean, but the Jets are, it's being
Yeah,
drafted into hell basically if you're taken by the Jets. It looks like so.
the way things are going, yeah.
Yeah,
It's so yeah. I don't know if he can. As I when we talked Tuesday though, I was with you that Pelissero or somebody had this figured out all along. So our guy O'Connell has no background with Darnold though, so it says this is somebody else deciding he can play, huh?
well, I think it's O'Connell. So the tie-in is that um, the quarterback's coach now, McCowan. He was
Okay.
Darnold's teammate with the Jets, and
Oh, okay.
O'Connell is buddies with Kyle Shanahan, and Kyle Shanahan had Darnold as his backup last year. Those are the two
Okay.
tie-ins.
Okay. Oh, yes, that's right. McCollum is, that's the Duke order. They, so when they hired McCollum, which was about a week ago, 10 days, something like that,
Probably
did
2 weeks ago.
they pretty much they pretty much knew all this was going to happen. Then, do you think? Can we pretty
Yeah,
much guess that they? But McCollum's an addition, right? He's not a. What do we got now? 25 assistant coaches, basically. We upped the number again. We hired a
because we're
bunch
not
of
There's a
firing
lot.
people.
him. We're just
Huh?
reassigning him to different jobs. They took the quarterbacks coach, and I think he's now the pass game coordinator. They brought
Okay.
McCowan in as the quarterbacks coach. They're threatening to give the assistant quarterbacks coach a new title to reflect what he really does. So yeah, the assistant coach is incredible.
Oh God, and the number is fantastic. It was when it was 22, the late great Bud's mind was being blown when he found that out. Now that it's 25 or six, he must really I know that at 22 assistants. I think the Vikings were a little below average, weren't they? They were, It was not. I don't know. As Bud said, how do you keep track of all of them? How do you get them? How do you keep track of what everybody's doing? So,
Did you see in the press conference Kirk's not so subtle jab at the Vikings?
no, I didn't.
He
Okay.
okay. He said that he thinks that the Falcons have a great chance to win because the owner, the GM, and coach
Oh
and
yes,
quarterback are
yes.
all on the same page, and that is
So
paramount.
So what was who's not on the same page? Is he suggesting the GM and the coach? Is that
No,
what?
I think he's saying the coach was on the same page. He's either saying the owner and GM weren't on his. So basically, what he's saying is they're not on Kirk's page. So it's either
Oh,
the
okay.
Wilfs and Quasi or one of those two that weren't
Hmm.
on the correct page to give Kirk what he wanted.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I couldn't. Well, obviously, Quasi wasn't right. I mean, Quasi wants to draft, and I think the Vikings have done exceedingly well so far in this postseason, but they don't have a quarterback. And now we're seeing what was the report that they are the whole organization is absolutely crazed attempting to find the right quarterback and get their Patrick Mahomes type of guy. So where'd that report come from? That was
I think it was
somebody
I think it was
Florida.
Florio, who's a
Florida.
huge Vikings fan and tends to get very pissed off if things don't go like he wants them to go.
Yes, yes. And that and if that's the case, then they're obviously going to trade up. That they're not
Mhm.
going to sit around if there's a guy they want, they're going to get somewhere where they're sure to get one. But they want to get their own Patrick Mahomes. Well, who doesn't? For God's sakes, and that doesn't the fact that you want to find that guy doesn't mean you are going to, so
Correct.
on yeah, I don't know. It's so what do we have left now? It is kind of good to see him well, you got to sign JJ, but what does to see them on the first day signing people instead of waiting for the third or fourth when to get the fifth best guy at a position instead of one of the first or second best guys at the position. Quarterback thing is unbelievable. I mean, the running back thing, those unbelievable. Do you see the deal that Eckler had to take? He got no money at all. He's that was the guy that was linked before Aaron Jones, that was linked to the Vikings. Eckler, they could have got him for nothing. Although I'm a big Aaron Jones fan, so I think that's a terrific move.
Yeah, it was the first time in a long time, Pat, they actually had a big spending day on free agency.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember
Mhm.
like what Judd, like maybe obviously they signed Kirk in 2018, but in terms of the flurry of moves, was it like
And money.
2014 when they signed Linval and
Yeah.
they brought Matt Castle back kind of as a bridge, just like Sam Darnold? Captain Munderland, I think, might have even been part of that same year. This is the first time I can remember in a very long time that they actually had a bunch of money to spend on free agency in one day.
Although I was reading Craig's piece this morning, they still have a huge amount of dead money, right? 58
Most in the
million or
NFL.
something.
Yes, for this
Yeah.
Yeah.
year.
And for this year. So that means once next year they're going to have so damn much with the $30 million raise. Now I don't know and not signing Dan Hunter.
Yep.
And they got a couple of expensive pass rushers, but not break the bank expensive pass rushers. They're going to have enormous amount of money to spend at this time of year from now, right?
They're going to be top 5.
Hmm.
They're going to be
Well,
near the top. So yes, they can basically go out and call their shots in free agency next March.
now do you think, I'm not saying Ziggy because I don't know if but you think Mark Wolf has been in football long enough now to think that he should be making some decisions too, that we should use his expertise too? Do you think
That's a great
when
question.
Kirk's saying that, do you think Mark's is influencing this? I know he can influence whether they want to spend the money, but
Right.
he doesn't think he knows anything about football, does he? I
That's a
mean,
that's a really good question. I don't think they're really influential probably in like defensive personnel, right? But when it comes to Kirk, it doesn't take a lot to say we've been paying this
no.
guy a lot for one
Yeah,
playoff win. So I think if
yeah,
I was Mark in that case, I'd probably say, do we really want to give this guy 50 million guaranteed per season, two playoff
yes.
appearances, and one career playoff win?
Yeah, well, I think the owner's certainly entitled to say that. But as
Yeah.
far as
I don't know about, yeah.
then what do we do next is probably not. You don't want him deciding which one of the quarterbacks to take or what you're going to do or
No, I
something
hope
like
not.
that. But to spend, I mean, I'm sure that they've been frustrated, not because I mean they're making 250 million a year, so they obviously are going to spend to the cap. But when it's 58 million in dead money, does that mean that goes right into your profit
You know, I
when
th-
you're not spending it?
no, I don't think so. I think it sits there as a like I don't think it's real. I think it's baked into your cap, but it's because it's been paid out.
Yeah, it's been paid
So
out, but
no,
some
I don't think it's
it's been
real.
bond.
I think
Okay.
it's an accounting number
Yes.
is what it
Yes.
comes down to.
Okay.
So
But
yeah, they're not pocketing it to build the fence
mhm.
around the stadium, for instance. No, I'm pretty
Yes,
sure of that.
yeah, no, because they're not spending anything to build the fence around the stadium or anything else. They're making you poor saps spend it,
So I shouldn't have mentioned it. I just couldn't
tax
help myself. Sorry.
taxpayers. They're trying to get the state of Minnesota to do
Yeah,
that
well,
for them. So yeah,
yep.
because the fact that they want an improved computer system to run better ads doesn't mean they should have to pay for it. Damn it, should
Have you seen that
we
little
should have to.
scoreboard? That little
That
mini
little
scoreboard they
tiny
got now, that
scoreboard.
old
Let's
thing
get a
they
big
got.
one. Yes, let's get a bigger one.
It's like a 1967, big
Mhm.
TV. You need a new
Mhm.
one.
That's right. And the people running the stage, if Taylor comes back to town, you need a bigger scoreboard so the 65,000 people can see her better when they're paying big
Yeah,
money to come and
Good
watch
point.
her.
it's true.
Because to, I still don't get that out. I get that we go and we watch her on this video board and we get very excited. I don't quite understand that, but I guess that's me. I'm just don't figure it out. So our Gophers fighting for their lives here in just a little bit, considering what we're boy. That's quite a tournament. Your second day, you got the home team playing at 11 o'clock in the morning in a game
Yeah.
they're unlikely to win. That the excitement. Why don't they? It's the quarterfinals. Why do you have to play them when you? Why don't you juggle the starting times
That's
of the
what I'm
games?
wondering.
What difference does it make? It's really stupid.
Like
I don't.
who's gonna duck out of work for the most part on a Thursday at 11 to go watch a Gopher basketball team that couldn't draw when they played across town?
Yes, yes. I saw some people celebrating the fact that some gals celebrating the fact that you can get tickets for $3 today for some of their. Yet yesterday you could get tickets for $3. Well, guess what? On Wednesday and Thursday, you get tickets for $3 when Caitlin was in town too, because she didn't play till Friday. That's it's not it's not like throughout the whole tournament people were fighting to get into the arena for the preliminaries of the Big Ten women's tournament either. But Caitlin, obviously, the prices were a lot higher than they're going to be for this, and the crowds are a lot larger. But
Hmm.
let's not be comparing Wednesday's ticket prices for the men with the Caitlin ticket prices on Sunday. Okay, there's a little difference here. I'm not denying the Caitlin phenomenon, but we had a good item today about Brian Cosgrove, who's now the Minnetonka coach. He coached at Hopkins and put together that all-star team, and now he's done so at Minnetonka. He took a couple, 3 years off. Made it stated that he thinks Paige Beckers is a better player than Caitlin.
Really?
And yeah, he's in the paper today saying that. Now, she's had three different injuries and she's healthy now and she's playing really good. And she was the National Player of the Year as a freshman before she started having injuries. And I'm not denying her excellence, but I mean, different kind of players. Paige is playing with, you know, she's an assist type of player, and she can play the all around game. And Caitlin leads the world in assists too, but on that Iowa team, Caitlin has to go get it for her. She got to go get the points. Paige doesn't have to do it quite as much as UConn, so I don't know about that. But Paige is, I'd take her, although she's going back to UConn, so she's already said she's not going to the WNBA.
Mm-hmm.
Pat, do you have any pick? I forgot that I woke up this morning and I completely didn't even realize the Players was going on this weekend. The Players Championship in the PGA. Rory McIlroy off to a nice start so far. The first 9 hole, he is leading 5 under as we record this at about 9:50.
I was watching actually the preview a couple of nights ago, Chambly and those guys, and this course is only 7,200 yards. It's a course designed with water on every hole, and it's to make you move the ball, but they're here and there, and but the only way not to shoot a low number is to hit it in the water someplace, because they're gonna there's apparently no place to go as far as making it longer or anything. So but they grow in the rough like 4 inches. The first cut of the rough, and then the second cut is cabbage. I don't think I have a, a, a prediction. No, probably not. I mean, it was funny. I was listening to Chambly though, and this guy from the British side that they used for this event. Can't remember what his name is, but he said last night that he said, there's 30 players here that are playing live, so the field isn't as strong as it has been, because there's 30 guys that be here that are playing in live. And Chambly got very upset because, of course, Brandel is the number one hater of live, and has staked his claim onto that. And he says there's 4 or 5 important players, and they were arguing. And Brandel was trying to, the night before, Brandel was trying to make the difficulties of that course, and hit, that you can, you got to hit it straight, you got to move it left to right and all those things. But the other guy was saying, it's too short. They can just tear it up with the modern game. They just hit it over all the trouble. So I don't know. Everybody's picking Scheffler, and he's certainly playing great, but it's more of a putting contest now, I think, and I wouldn't pick him to win it, but I don't know who exactly. It would be nice if Rory could play good, because he hasn't been playing good, but he's not a putter either. So
I thought Liv and the PGA were in some type of
that
merger talks months ago.
is
What the hell
everybody.
happened?
And nobody knows, because they went out and stole John Rahm after the whole thing.
Okay.
I don't think
It's going to take some time. It's going to take like a
I
year
don't
or
think
two, I
we
think.
figured it. We
Yeah.
don't.
But I
It's
mean,
not
are they
settled
now
yet.
not talking again because of the John
No,
Rahm thing?
they're talking. Even Jay Monahan gave an update the other day and said it's ongoing, and we're
Yeah,
discussing with
but
them. So
it isn't finalized. But they're still stealing guys when they can.
yeah,
I mean, look at the. I wouldn't watch Live if they were playing in my backyard, because I don't care about seeing the same 48 guys, and then the goofy team name. The Crushers are leading the tournament. It was
What?
great. I heard a guy the other day on it for 2 minutes saying, "What a contest for the team champion." What are you talking about, you jackass? Nobody knows. Who cares if the Crushers beat the
They got team
Annihilators or
names. Come on,
something?
it's all you need, Pat.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway. I wouldn't watch it, but there's no doubt that when you look at the guys that have been winning and the leaderboard, and then the secondary tournaments, what has really hurt them is that the secondary tournaments, if you're not one of the designated events, you're a glorified Corn Ferry event that used to be the Nike event. I mean, there's some of the guys that are lead winning this year are I don't know. Who do they got left? They got Rory, Justin, who's not playing that good. They got Scheffler. What if one of these? What if they come over and get Scheffler? I don't think he doesn't seem to be that kind of guy.
no,
He's got no life, right, Scheffler? I mean, is he married? Is he even married? I think he doesn't have any little kids running out and kissing him after he wins, like Phil Mickelson did for all those years. He used to rent kids to
I was
come
gonna say
out.
those kids were hired.
Yeah, they never got bigger. Every year they were still 5. I don't know how that happened, but there's no doubt that that the viewership of LIV is non-existent, but the viewership of the PGA Tour so far has been awful. And
Interesting.
we'll see if anybody watches the Players. I mean, the Masters, we would presume, because you're going to have LIV guys at the Masters.
Yep.
But we'll see how the viewership is there. But so far, the Tour numbers are way down,
Interesting.
and they're really worried about money. They're losing money. They pretty much have told the events that it's up to them to figure out how to raise charity money because they're making the purses so damn large. They're taking all the sponsors' money and putting it into purses and leaving very little for charity. So a guy like Hollis has got to go out and hustle up the charity money on his own, pretty much. So
Interesting stuff.
it golf's in trouble anyway because it's golf. It's not exactly a sport made for the Instagram world. So it's relied on us 70-year-olds anyway to watch it, and it's in trouble now. There's no doubt about it. But sorry for not answering your question.
No,
But
you're okay, Pat.
I
You're
don't know.
okay.
We got guys winning the events. I never heard
Yeah.
of Hopper and guys like that. So
Well, we're entering, Players this weekend. We're about a month from the Masters, so golf season's upon us. So I always like
Yes, it is.
I always like chatting golf with you when we can.
although in Minnesota, golf season's been upon us since February 10th.
It didn't end. What are you talking about?
My
Gophers played a baseball game yesterday, their earliest ever at home by 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
And the times they've done it in the past at the end of March was just out of desperation that they played, and
Right.
it was 40 degrees and snowing. And yesterday it was like, yeah, let's play 2. It's been the top. I told you guys the top came down 2 days ago. I was driving around. I said, I'm going to put the top down. It's March.
Who's complaining?
The 12th.
I'm playing my first round on Saturday, Pat, and I'll be freezing my arse off. It will be cold on Saturday. It'll be about a high of 40 and windy.
Oh,
but
okay.
I don't care. I'm done waiting. I've waited 5 months and I'm ready to play. So I'll freeze my butt off on Saturday, but I'm fine with that.
But I look out at the lawns here in the neighborhood right now, and it looks like August because there's, when you've had one of those heat waves and haven't put any water on your lawn,
Yeah.
it looks like
crap.
it is going to be oof. Now I always say 88, I think, is the year when I played more golf than I ever did. It was a great drought year. It was a fantastic drought year. You could get an extra 25 yards if you kept it in the fairway. And it was great, but I'm a little worried about this one. When the drought starts in January,
In the winter, yeah.
there's a little more of a little more concern. Remember last year? I mean, we were driving around at this time. It was starting to melt, and the river was coming out of its banks, and hey, I don't know.
We're a long way from that.
Yeah,
All right, Reusse. We'll talk to you tomorrow, okay?
All righty. Go
See you.
Gophers. Win one from Marcus. Come on. God almighty. I'm very worried about his health. So, okay.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Pat.
Pat.
Bye.
All right, Reusse Unchained on the Score North YouTube channel and the Apple and Spotify Score North app podcast feeds. We'll talk to Pat tomorrow.